you are a court junkie like me, or if you're from Massachusetts like me, I'm pretty sure you heard of the Karen Reed trial, and I'm pretty sure you heard she was found not guilty of murdering her boyfriend, which was a Boston police officer, John O'Keefe. And I'm pretty sure you heard about this family, the Alberts. They were the center of the trial. It happened on their front line. Allegedly, they claim he never entered their crib, but through trial testimony, we believe now that that's not true. America believes they had something to do with this. The town of Canton believed they had something to do with this. And if you haven't heard about this, let you listen to the family and see what they say.
The criminal justice system has let us down at every turn, and yesterday was the final letdown. And that's why we're here, because there's nobody left to stand up for us.
Think real long and hard before you're a witness in a case, because no one protects you. And it's very, very sad.
For the first time, some of the key players in the Karen Reed trial sitting down for an exclusive interview. His friend, Jennifer McCabe, and her husband, Matt, former Boston police sergeant Brian Albert, and his wife, Nicole, and his brother, Chris Albert. All five of them pulled into the center of this high-profile case and now speaking out.
And I think the reason we all stayed quiet is because we were just witnesses. This is a thing that we had nothing to do with.
We did the civic duty, came and told the truth, and that's it.
Free Karen Reed!
It's the case that has captivated the country and divided the town. Karen Reed, accused of killing her Boston police officer boyfriend, John O'Keefe, hitting him with her SUV and leaving him to die in a blizzard.
Not guilty. Not guilty.
Now, after a second trial, a jury acquitting her of the most serious charges, second-degree murder and manslaughter. And hundreds of supporters in pink, Karen Reed's favorite color, cheering as the verdict came down yesterday.
I could not be standing here without these amazing supporters.
People turned this thing into a tailgate party, it looked like, some days. Board games, cornhole, cookouts. This is a guy that was murdered, and
he was murdered clearly and evidentially by your family. Your family had something to do with this. Those were dog bites. Your dog disappeared, and I know you got an answer for it, but I don't know if it's too late, but your family needs to be investigated.
It's atrocious for that family.
While the prosecutors blamed Reed for O'Keefe's death, the defense said this group of family members framed Reed to cover up what really happened that night. Ever since, their lives becoming open season for endless conspiracy theories.
What they've done is they've dehumanized us to the sense where we're not real people. We're almost like caricatures.
And I don't know if this clip talks about it, but the lead investigator on this case was friends with them, and he was fired for doing text messages and talking about Karen Reed. And from the very beginning, he said, don't worry about it, this family won't catch no shit. They was not investigated. Police never went inside their house to see if there was a crime scene, and this family was just let off. And it's too late. We'll never know now. You can't go back and recreate evidence. You can't go back into that house. The dog is gone, and that's just what it is.
We're pawns.
Have each of you been called murderers? Like actual murderers?
Oh, yeah, on a daily basis.
Anybody who's touched this case has been called a murderer at some point.
And anyone who's friends with us support cop killers.
Yeah.
After 3+ years, the saga wrapped up yesterday. Reed captured celebrating at dinner with her father, and today seen walking with her attorney, Alan Jackson.
I didn't even know I'd be here today, so I had no plans.
Meanwhile, O'Keefe's family and friends struggling with the verdict.
I'm just sad for John's family and what happened yesterday, and I feel like they didn't get justice for him, and our lives just changed forever.
Why speak out now after the verdict?
We took what we thought was the high road.
Right.
Let the court do its job.
After a night of hanging out at a local bar in a brutal 2022 blizzard, Brian and his wife Nicole hosted a late-night gathering at their home. An invitation had been...
And if you follow the case, you know at that bar situation, John O'Keefe and one of the Alberts got into it. Once again, Nightline doesn't seem to be going into it, but they got into it, a little tussling, which they try to say was play fighting.
been extended to Reed and O'Keefe, but Brian Albert says neither of them ever entered his home that night. O'Keefe was found lying unconscious in the snow of Albert's front lawn. He was pronounced dead at the hospital hours later. The defense's theory? A violent altercation at the Alberts' home, possibly involving other members of law enforcement. Did John ever come in the house?
Never. No.
You never saw John O'Keefe in the house, right?
Never.
Never. Never.
These are people in your own community who believe the conspiracy theories, who believe that there were other law enforcement officials and agents involved in this. Why?
It's crazy that a reporter that should be biased calls it a conspiracy theory. One thing we do know, the jury of her peers don't think she did it. So who else could have possibly did it but this family? We also know experts came and testified that those marks on his arm was not from a car backing up into him, but dog marks. We know after this incident, the family dog was gone. We know since after this incident, the family house was remodeled. So as a reporter, I don't think you doing your job by calling it a conspiracy theory because the killers are out there, because it ain't Karen Reed.
Why is it people in your own community who believe these conspiracy theories?
You do realize for this conspiracy to be true, it would take 30 to 50 people. You'd have to have
Not necessarily. You had the head of the investigation saying you and your family won't catch no blowback. You had the head of the investigation talking shit about Karen Reed to his personal friends, text messaging them her pictures and stuff. So no, you don't need 30 to 40 people, which that lead investigator was fired because of his job on this case. So no, you don't need 30 to 50 people. You just need cops that wasn't investigating the case correctly.
multiple cops on 2 different police departments, multiple civilians, the medical examiner, firemen, EMTs, you name it. That's how preposterous and silly this is. And great question. I don't understand how people bought this.
Brian Albert says he and Nicole only found out about John's death when Jen McCabe, who is Nicole's sister, barged into their bedroom.
She was just upset, and I immediately thought something had happened to one of her children or one of.
And we know this isn't true neither because there was other people at that party which they would have had to leave. Right? They would have had to leave and they would have seen the body laying on the front line. We know this shit is all lies.
My children, because why else is she in my bedroom? It's 6:30 in the morning right now.
And what did she tell you?
She said, John's out front. I think John's dead out front. I said, what the are you talking about, Jen? And I'm like, who? I didn't know.
You still didn't piece it
I
together.
didn't understand what she was talking about because.
And mind you, this is his friend. This is a fellow cop. He never came outside. He never went outside. Your friend is on your lawn, died. He never went outside, and police never went inside. So police don't know if there was a crime scene inside, and he never went outside to check on his friend that he wants to know. At this point, they didn't know Karen hit him, allegedly, which it was proved she didn't hit him. The jury didn't believe she ever hit him. So why wouldn't you go outside? Watch his excuse.
Why would John be out front of my house?
So massively confusing. There are police officers, EMTs on your front lawn. You're an officer. Why don't you just go outside and investigate or take a look?
I'm not a Canton police officer. I'm a Boston police officer. I was just woken up out of a cold sleep from hanging out the night before. By the time I came downstairs, the police were already in my house. John was already gone.
Police never came in his house. So what is he talking about?
There was nobody to save. I would have taken a bullet for John O'Keefe because he was a fellow cop. That's the most ridiculous question that people always ask. It made zero sense. What am I supposed to do? Run out front in my underwear and start running yellow tape around the fire hydrant?
Over the course.
Nah, but if my friend on my front line, yeah, I'm running out there, maybe in my goddamn drawers, because I want to know what happened to my friend. Because at this time, you don't know that Karen backed up into him, or you don't know that's the alleged motive of what happened. But you stayed in that house because you knew what was happening, and you didn't want to go nowhere near that scene.
Course of the night, Reed called and texted John 52 times. She then called Jen asking for help to find John, Karen previously telling me she and John had gotten into an argument that night. Would you say that you were angry with John that night?
Yes.
Could you have been angry enough and slightly drunk because he had annoyed you that in the fit of rage you just backed up and
Never.
tried to tap him?
I would
Not to
never
try to kill him, but try to...
tap him with my 6,000-pound full-size SUV. To hit John's body with my car. No.
I spoke with a juror tonight who told me she believes a collision did not occur.
Overall, a lot of the evidence had cause for reasonable doubt, and that was enough for us not to convict.
A little after 6 a.m., Karen found John's body in the snow. Jen called 911.
911, what's your emergency?
There's a man passed out in the snow.
Hello?
But what raised eyebrows at Reed's trial was a defense theory about a Google search Jen had made about how long it takes to die in the cold. The defense claiming she searched it before O'Keefe's body was found. So much has been made about that Google search that morning. Was it at 6 a.m. or was it at 6:27 a.m. how long to die in the cold? What's your answer?
She asked me to do it at
Look how, you see how she's looking over there at him? Why are you looking at him? And watch when he asks the question how he looks at her. Watch.
Google search that morning. Was it
You see that? The camera cut away from him.
found? So much has been made about that Google search that morning.
See how he cut his eyes over there at her? Like, bitch, this the shit you fucked up before when you was on the stand. Don't fuck up now.
Before O'Keefe's body was found. So much has been made about that Google search that morning.
See how he's looking down? They're looking weird because that's where she fucked up on the stand in the first trial. See how he's cut at her, but I couldn't catch
Was it
it.
at 6 a.m. or was it at 6:27 a.m. how long to die in the cold? What's your answer?
She asked me to do it at outside of Fairview at 6:20, whatever it was. Doesn't matter how
Why you needed to look over there at them?
it was. Doesn't matter how much I say about it.
Why did you need to feel the need to look over there at them when you was
On to die in the
answering that
cold.
question?
What's your answer?
She asked me to do it at
Why you're looking over there at him for confirmation? Am I saying what you want me to say? Am I saying what I'm supposed to say? Because in that town, the Alberts are kind of, that family. That got a little prestige and a little power, and they well known, and their other family members and key city council positions that run the police department. And look at her looking over there like, yo, you seeing? Am I seeing? And that doesn't look like she's happy to be saying what she want to be saying. Look, she looks, under control.
outside of Fairview at 6:20, whatever it was. Doesn't matter how much I say about it, people will not believe it.
The group also hoping to clear up rumors regarding the Alberts' dog, Chloe, who had been rehomed after the incident. The defense claimed the dog...
Now they try to say these were marks from getting hit by the car and breaking the light. No, those are dog marks. And as you about to hear, that dog disappeared.
was involved in O'Keefe's death.
Those wounds were inflicted as a result of a dog attack. Those marks are from teeth.
They've known for 2 years where Chloe is. The state shared it with them.
So if they wanted to take DNA evidence from Chloe the dog and match it to possible DNA evidence on John O'Keefe, they could have matched it.
Absolutely.
But now with the trial behind them, they say they're still faced with threats against them and their families, but hope to continue calling this community their home.
You get down, you get depressed, and it's like, but this is a town we...
So there you have it. That's the Albert family. They're the center of the Karen Reed case, who many Americans, many people in Massachusetts believe they did this crime. They were protected by the lead investigator who was fired, and that's what happened. Karen Reed was found not guilty. what you think. Get in the comment section. Let me know. And like I always say, I present you with the facts. I give you my opinion on those facts. And if you like how I do that, click that like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, click all so you can get notifications every time I do one of these videos. And if you supporting this family and the bull that they doing, cut the shit. That part.